If there's one thing we've learned this summer, it's that Brian Schottenheimer's vision is taking root in Dallas, and it's already paying off in a major way. Make no mistake, this offseason isn't business as usual. This might just be the most committed, most focused version of the Cowboys we've seen in years. Top to bottom, bottom to top. These guys are locked in. And the work? It's not just talk. It's showing up everywhere. Let's be real. No one can say the Cowboys aren't grinding right now. From what we're seeing across the board, this roster is working like their futures depend on it. Because for most of them, it absolutely does. Schottenheimer had a plan. Create real competition, crank up the pressure, and demand accountability. And now we're watching that plan unfold in real time. There are no days off. There are no shortcuts. Unless your name is Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, or Micah Parsons, your spot is far from guaranteed. Every other player? You better show up, you better fight, and you better earn it. And that's exactly what's happening. This offseason, there's a different energy in the building. Not just hope, but hunger. A culture shift, led by Schottenheimer, built on competition, and fueled by urgency. This isn't just an offseason. It's a warning to the rest of the league. Dallas is serious. What's more intense than battling your opponent? Fighting for your own job every single day. That's the kind of pressure Brian Schottenheimer has engineered, and it's exactly what's pushing this Cowboys team to another level. There's no comfort zone on this roster. No player can afford to relax. You might think you've done enough, but then you walk into something like the Dak Pack Summit, and reality hits. This summit isn't just some off-season get-together. It's a full-on brotherhood boot camp. A weekend where offensive skill players gather with one goal, to outwork everyone else in the league. And when you're standing next to guys like CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jalen Tolbert, or even undrafted fighters like Trayshawn Holden, you better believe that hunger starts to burn. From rookies to stars, the entire depth chart shows up, and they grind. No excuses, no entitlement, just pure, relentless effort. Because if you're watching someone who hasn't even made the final 53 giving everything they've got, are you really going to let them outwork you? That kind of environment forces every man in that room to push beyond their limits. This is exactly what Schottenheimer envisioned. A culture where competition is constant, where work ethic defines your worth, and where leaders like Dak Prescott are leading by example. Not just talking, but showing up, giving everything, and bringing others with them. And let's talk about Dak. The way he's carried himself this offseason. It's different. He's not just a quarterback. He's become a magnet for leadership, pulling guys closer, earning their respect, and creating real unity. That summit? It's not just growing. It's becoming a cornerstone of the Cowboys' off-season identity. More players are attending, more buzz is building, and the message is clear. This team is serious about becoming a brotherhood that wins. For Cowboys fans, this offseason is shaping up to be something special. And we're just getting started. Let's talk about something that doesn't get enough spotlight. The grit behind the grind. And one of the most impressive examples this offseason, the Offensive Line Summit in Las Vegas, hosted by Cowboys legend Tyron Smith and powered by Athletes First. This wasn't just a bunch of drills and film sessions. This was combat training. Literal UFC-style workouts. These guys weren't just hitting sleds. They were slamming into each other, locking arms, training like fighters, building real toughness, real physicality. And right in the heart of it, Tyler Guyton, the young offensive lineman stepping into the fire. Watching him embrace that level of work, not just lifting weights, but training like a warrior, you start to see the difference. This is what growth looks like. No shortcuts, no comfort, just sweat, pain, and progress. Now, can we guarantee that Tyler Guyton will transform into an elite lineman overnight? Of course not. But one thing is absolutely clear. He's putting in the work. He's not hoping to get better. He's grinding to get better. And for Cowboys fans, that's all we can ask. Give us the guys who are obsessed with improving. Give us players who chase the pain, not run from it. Too often in the NFL, negativity steals the headlines. One mistake, one bad moment, and the world rushes to tear someone down. But when players step up, when they show character, discipline, and heart, it barely makes a ripple. That's why this kind of offseason matters. That's why it deserves to be seen. Right now, this Cowboys roster isn't just talking about being better. They're living it. They're sweating for it. They're sacrificing for it. And if you're a true fan, that should light a fire inside you. Because this team, they're sending a message. They're not just chasing wins. They're chasing greatness. The headlines might not be screaming it, but they should be. Because this offseason, the Dallas Cowboys haven't been chasing the spotlight. They've been chasing excellence. No drama, no distractions. Just players showing up, grinding harder, and doing everything they can to elevate their game. They've been in the building, working on their craft. They've shown up at community events, spent time at the Star, and surrounded themselves with the right mentors and coaches. They've been doing it the right way. All of it. Even guys like Trevon Diggs, coming off a tough injury, haven't wasted a second. He's locked in on his rehab, doing everything he can to get back for Week 1. Why? Because even a Pro Bowler like Diggs knows nothing is guaranteed anymore. That's what Brian Schottenheimer has instilled. A mindset where nobody's safe and every single rep matters. It's not just about talent. It's about accountability. It's about building a roster of grown men, leaders, self-starters, guys who don't need to be watched because they're already pushing themselves harder than anyone else ever could. And this didn't happen by accident. Schottenheimer and the front office targeted players with leadership DNA. Guys who wore the captain's patch. Players who led by example at their schools or former teams. That's the new foundation. Not flash, but character. When you stack a roster full of players who hold themselves accountable, you don't just improve the individual, you raise the bar for the entire locker room. That's what we're seeing now. A team where competition is constant, intensity is expected, and excuses aren't tolerated. And, yeah, the next few weeks will bring some vacation photos. And, rightfully so. A quick breather before the storm. But make no mistake, training camp is coming, and this team looks more ready, mentally and physically, than it has in years. Every player needs a break. That's expected, even necessary. But when you look at what the Cowboys have done this offseason, it's clear. This team hasn't just rested, they've reloaded. While a few well-earned vacations are on the horizon, the work these guys have already put in is undeniable. It's not just the stars, it's the entire roster, from top to bottom, grinding with a purpose. Take Phil Maffa, a name buried deep on the running back depth chart. He's not waiting for opportunity, he's creating it. Every rep, every sprint, every film session he's putting in is sending a message. I'm coming for a spot. And that ripple effect is real. When guys at the bottom are training like their lives depend on it, you can bet the top of the chart is feeling the pressure. That's how you build a roster that competes, not just with the league, but with each other. Then there's Sam Williams. Coming back from a leg injury, he's shown the kind of resilience that defines careers. His offseason work? It's already turning heads. Reports say he's looking quicker, more explosive, maybe even Micah Parsons fast. And that's saying something. And let's not overlook Brock Hoffman, out here posting boxing drills, sharpening his footwork, building hand strength, and adding a whole new dimension to his game. That's the kind of out-of-the-box effort that separates players when the pads come on. These guys get it. They understand what's at stake. They know this season isn't going to be handed to them. Every roll, every snap, it's all earned. And that's the beauty of this offseason. It's not just about who's the most talented. It's about who's the most committed, who's willing to sacrifice, to adapt, to grow. And right now, this Cowboys roster is full of players who are doing exactly that. Because in Dallas, your work will speak louder than your name. And this team? They're ready to let the work do all the talking. In Dallas, no one's job is guaranteed. That's the environment Brian Schottenheimer has built. And guys like Micah Parsons are carrying that torch with pride. Micah isn't just dominating between the lines. He's setting the standard, holding the entire defense accountable. We're seeing him work alongside Osa Odigizua, Solomon Thomas, Tyrus Wheat, and others. Not just training, but building real chemistry. This defensive line isn't working out alone in silence. They're building connection, rhythm, trust, the kind of synergy that wins playoff games. You can feel it. The way they move, talk, challenge each other. That brotherhood? It's growing. It mirrors what Dak and CD are doing on the offensive side with the Dak Summit. Micah is leading his unit the same way, stepping up, pushing his teammates, standing beside guys like Trevin Diggs during rehab, reminding everyone what real leadership looks like. This is the Micah Parsons fans have been waiting to see. And now, it's not just potential, it's purpose. With the right support on the defensive line and the culture around him, don't be shocked if he goes nuclear this season. 20 sacks? It's not out of reach. If Michael Strawn did it, Micah can too. Because this version of Micah isn't chasing stats. He's chasing greatness, and he's dragging the whole unit with him. Let's give these players the respect they deserve. Too often, fans are quick to jump on a mistake and slow to recognize the grind. But right now, this Cowboys roster is doing everything right. No scandals, no setbacks, just a locker room full of men grinding for something bigger. So yes, they've got my support, and they should have yours too. Hope for the best. Be ready for anything. But if this offseason is any indication, something special is brewing in Dallas.